In the last video I did, I talked about Black August, its origins, and its purpose. I talked about Flea days, days where we remember the fallen comrades who are the martyrs of the movement. August 1st is the first Flea Day that remembers the death of Jeffrey Khatari Gaulden. Gaulden, along with W.L. Nolan and George Jackson, were the fathers of the Black August movement. All three of them met in San Quentin prison, where they politically educated many of their black fellow inmates. Gaulden was a well-known activist in the Bay Area before his incarceration in 1967. He was the last remaining of the three men before he himself was assassinated. While he wasn't as charismatic as Nolan or Jackson, Gaulden had his way of organizing and rallying his inmates for the sake of the movement. And while he was not as charismatic, he still got the attention of the prison officials. So much attention that it was said by his fellow inmates that the prison guards were trying to pay other inmates to set him up to be killed. On August 1st, while playing football on the San Quentin prison yard, Gaulden tripped and hit his head on a pipe sticking out of the wall. He was taken to the infirmary in San Quentin prison, where doctors there suggested he be taken to a public hospital because of insufficient resources and expertise for his particular injury. Prison officials refused that request because they felt they didn't have enough security to transport him out of the prison. Gaulden laid there for several hours, bleeding and in critical condition. And during that time, he was getting no sufficient medical care. He then finally, after hours, was approved to be transported to Ross Hospital in Marin, California for a brain scan. He was then transported to San Francisco General, where he later died. Gaulden died at 32 years old. Khatari Gaulden was murdered through medical neglect. Yes, I have said murdered because people have been charged with this type of crime. When one handles a medical situation of this disregard or indifference for human life, this is not just a simple mistake. This is intentional harm. But ask yourself this question: how often do black people every day suffer from medical neglect? Many people who work in the medical field and understand its social implications know that there are racial disparities when it comes to quality medical care. The statistics shows that black people get far less quality medical care than white people. So much less that the mortality rates are staggering. In a 2023 study by the Journal of American Medical Associates, they found that between 1999 and 2020, that 1.6 million black people have died in the care of medical professionals than white people. I'm not sure, but that sounds very intentional to me. However, medical neglect is nothing new in our history. Take, for example, the Tuskegee experiment, a 40-year medical experiment where medical researchers withheld penicillin-curing medicine to black men who had syphilis. And sometimes it doesn't even matter if you're rich. Take, for example, the 2022 case of tennis star Serena Williams after she had her first baby. Serena started having complications after giving birth, and she asked the nurse to do a CAT scan on her lungs. The nurse initially refused the claim because she thought the drugs that she was given was making her crazy. But the doctors finally gave in to her request, and they found that she had blood clots in her lungs that was making its way to her heart. If they did not catch this and stop this, she would have died. Medical negligence is a huge genocide weapon against black people. It can cover itself in improper diagnosis, but in the end, doctors rarely get criminalized because the intent is difficult to prove. This is why civil lawsuits are very popular among medical lawyers. But just like police officers who murder unarmed black people, they get the benefit of the doubt even when it looks like it wasn't intended. Long live the memory of Jeffrey Khatari Gaulden.